Interestingly, I sat down with the director of the loss prevention at Marriott and the security guys and gals, and they all sort of nodded their heads like they understood everything, and everyone agreed it needed to be addressed. And they said, how do we know which of the machines of the two in the lobby that is the one that's compromised? I said, well, just unplug them one by one until you see the Bluetooth signal drop off. And they said, oh, this is a good idea. But for 2 days, the ATM in question was inexplicably left on while guests continued to use the hacked machines. So one of the first stops headed south from Cancun was a hotel, or I guess it was like a series of hotels called the Hotel Barcelo. And I didn't have a reservation. It's like an all-inclusive resort. So the guys at the security gate out front didn't want to let me into the hotel, but I basically convinced them that I was going to buy a day pass for like 85 bucks. And so they let me in. And I started walking around to the different hotel areas and checking out their ATMs. And I've ended up finding 3 different ATMs that were compromised and emitting these Bluetooth free-to-move signals. I stopped at that. There were probably a bunch of others in the resort that I didn't check. I didn't really want to press my luck because the security guys were following me around and kept trying to steer me back to the registration desk to buy a day pass. So I decided it was probably time to move on and head on down the road. So fleeing the overzealous, or I don't know, I guess they're effective security guards at the Barcelo, I decided to head further south down the coastal highway and check out a bunch of ATMs in and around Tulum, which is famous for its Mayan ruins. This is entering the tourist area around the ruins and in Tulum, and where all the tour buses sort of drop people off normally there. And I don't think I had gone more than 100 meters when I found this ATM at the entrance to this touristy area with a lot of shops. And this ATM was definitely beaconing out the Bluetooth signals. It wasn't the nicest ATM I'd seen in a while since being down there, but it was definitely beaconing the free-to-move signals, as you'll see here. Found 2 more ATMs within a quarter of a mile of that one, and both beaconing out with those same signals, including and then another one, this one, as I was leaving the Tulum area, found this also beaconing out. Unfortunately, I got back to the car and found there was a ticket on the windshield. And also the front license plate was taken. Come to find out, this is a method used by the police there to make sure that people pay their tickets not only in a timely way, but also locally, more importantly. From Tulum, I turned around and headed back up the same highway to get to another huge but a lot more laid back tourist destination on the coast called Playa del Carmen. And there were so many ATMs in this town, it took hours and hours of walking the strip to check them all out. And needless to say, I found plenty of them, 5 in fact. The audio, for example, doesn't really quite work out with this one again, but we can see the same free-to-move Bluetooth signals beaconing out to the fraudsters to come get their stolen data. Again, the crazy thing about all these compromised ATMs is, you know, even if you knew to be super paranoid and you're pulling on the ATM face and you're looking for all the signs of a compromised ATM, you just aren't going to see them in this case, which makes this crime all the more diabolical, I suppose. After an exhausting 4 miles of cruising up and down Playa de Carmen's main drag, I hopped a 45-minute ferry ride to Cozumel, which is a beautiful island that's quite popular with tourists and scuba divers alike. And I was actually really kind of bummed that I had to come here at night because the water around this island is such an incredible shade of bright blue green. Anyway, I must have spent another 2 hours walking the main road in downtown Cozumel where the ferry lets you off, and I found three more compromised ATMs beaconing out the free to move signals. And by this time, my Apple Watch was telling me I'd overachieved, way overachieved my fitness goal for the day, walking something like 15 miles. And I couldn't believe it, but I was determined to check as many places as I could. And this was on my last night in Mexico. I really like these skimmers because I like these ATMs because the one that had the Bluetooth free to move signal was the one that didn't have the out of order sign on it. So, hey, no, don't use this safe ATM. You know, use this compromised one over here. Happily, when I got back to the hotel, I found the ATM on the left that had been compromised was unplugged, and that felt really good. The next day was actually time to leave. Much to my chagrin, I really wanted to stick around and have a real vacation instead of walking around looking at all these skimmers all day. But I decided, hey, you know what, to check the ATMs out in the airport because, yeah, who knows, maybe some of them are compromised. So that's what I did, and I was walking up to this ATM after already having scouted it out and determined it to be compromised, and I was filming this, trying to get some good footage, and this woman comes up and she says, as she starts getting money out, and I said, look, sorry to bother you, but you might not want to use this ATM. You might want to try the other one. And she was actually pretty gracious about it. She said she was in a hurry. But to me, this was just incredible. And this is, by the way, this is right before you enter the security checkpoint. So whoever compromised this ATM didn't have to do so inside of the Mexican airport security. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a chance to check out what will probably be a 3 or 4 part series on this very soon at krebsonsecurity.com.